Today, we're going to talk about suspension. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about Ohlins versus Legends. I've been asked that question a lot, primarily because I have Legends on this motorcycle, my 2019 Mako Shark Fade or Mako Fade Shark CVO. And I have the Legends on this one, and then I have Ohlins on my turbo bagger and my OG 153 cubic inch engine that All-American Cycle built for me. Now, I am going to tell you which one I like the best right off the bat, and I'm going to tell you that I prefer Ohlins over Legends every day of the week. Now, let me back up a little bit. I just wanted to share that because I wanted you guys to know right off the bat, and if you want to keep watching the video, then keep watching the video. Now, to be fair, I've had both suspensions for about 2 years each, and I like them both. However, like I mentioned, Ohlins is far superior in my personal opinion than Legends. Also, I want to be clear that I don't have any obligations to Ohlins or to Legends. Nobody has given me anything. Nobody has paid anything for me. I don't even know anybody that works for Legends. I don't even know anybody that works for Ohlins. Like, this is totally unbiased review here, and it's just my personal opinion on my personal experience on riding with these two suspensions. I will say that there are other suspensions in the market that I hear are really good, but I haven't paid for them, and I'm not going to be switching suspensions back and forth just to see which ones I like the best. I'm going to tell you what I like about both suspensions first, and what that is that they're both better than stock. You know what I mean? Stock is good, but I mean, stock does the trick, you know, I will say that, but there's nothing compares to aftermarket suspension. So if you can only get Legends, go with Legends. If you can only get Ohlins, go with Ohlins, you know. So I wanted to say that. Also, another thing I wanted to disclose here, just to be fair across the board, is that I have both suspensions set up exactly the same to the specs that they provided on their owner's manual. So they're both for my rider weight, single person, no king tour pack. That's how they're all rated. So it's going to be as fair, as even as you possibly know. Now, okay. Why do I prefer Ohlins over Legends? Well, because, for example, let me start with Legends. Legends to me is just too stiff and too jerky in comparison to Ohlins. Again, with the same settings. You know, if before, when I only had Legends for a hot minute, I was like, oh, these are great. But then once I got the Ohlins suspension, I was like, oh man, this right here, this is something different here. The Ohlins suspension, it takes up, the thing about the Ohlins is that it takes the bumps, it absorbs the bumps, but it's also not jerky. And I know some of you may say, hey, what's your settings, how you have it set up? But the thing about the Legends that I just, you know, I'm not a fan of is you buy it, it comes with one cartridge one spring that you can use, right? It comes with one spring that you use to set. I know there's a couple of different options you can get from Legends, but once it's on there, that's it. There's no adjustability. With the Ohlins, which are pretty much the same price, and you can also get them from Direct Specialties, your local dealer, you have a knob on the exterior right here that you can adjust your suspension to however it is that you want it. And with that option, you can stiffen it up, you can soften it up, you can do it on the fly. You're not going to spend, what do they cost, $1,150 for the Legends, and same thing for the Ohlins, I believe, but be stuck with that one settings, because now this Legends is softer, it's a little bit better, but man, when I first got this Legends, forget about it, dude. It was jerky and bumpy to the point where I was like kind of bouncing off the bike. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about the front suspension. The rear suspension that I have from Legends has the reservoirs, as does the Ohlins suspensions that I have. That also has the reservoirs on them. So again, this review is as even, as fair as it could possibly be. You know what I mean? For me, it took about 5,000 miles for the Legend suspension in the front to kind of soften off, man. And I mean, dude, but the thing was, where the problem was with that was, man, I was just I mean, it's better than stock, right? But man, not even stock was that jerky. So, you know, but I just didn't know about that option because, or that would happen because nobody talked about it during the reviews on YouTube, right? And I was like, oh, let me just go with this because I didn't know no better. And I was like, oh man. Well, I ended up getting Ohlins on my turbo bike. Dude, from jump, it was night and day. But that's because in the top of the Ohlins cartridges, you have adjustability that you can do with just a couple of wrenches or one wrench, and that's it. So I like that I have the option to make those to fine-tune the suspension to how I want to ride it, or stiffen it up or soften it off, depending what I'm going to do, because that makes the world of difference in my opinion. But this is where Ohlins really shines. Like for everyday riding, I guess both are good. The Legends to me are a little bit more jerky, more bouncy, even now that I have 12,000 miles on them. But they're better than stock, right? But where Ohlins really separates itself from Legends and possibly other suspension makers, again, don't quote me because I don't have experience with them, but where it really shines, man, these roads right here. In case you're wondering why I'm downtown, I'm downtown because, well, I was visiting one of my properties down here, so make sure everything's good. But dude, so where Ohlins really shines is that when you're hitting the curves, and you're going, you're leaning, and everything's good, and everything's awesome on your motorcycle. The Legend, you know, you're soft and you're connected to, you're planted to the road, right? With the Ohlins, you know, yes, there's obviously a little bit of bumping back and forth, like there is with any road that there is. But what Legends does is it bounces back and forth so much, it's so jerky that you have to slow down in the middle of the fast curves that you're taking, right? In my case, I'll take them kind of quick, and man, I have to slow down because, you know, I lose confidence. I'm like, dude, am I gonna bust my butt here? Is there gonna be a bump that's gonna jerk me off the bike or something? And yeah, dude, so that's where Ohlins to me is just, on that alone, is far superior than within Legends, I believe, because you're going, and, you know, if you're in the curve and this is like the road, here's your motorcycle, this is what Legends is doing. Ohlins is just going smooth. And that to me is money. The crazy thing is that they all cost around the same amount of money. Like the rear shocks with the reservoirs, they might be 50 or 100 bucks apart from each other. Same thing with the ones in the front. So if you're gonna invest the same amount of money and pay the same amount of labor cost, why wouldn't you go with the better option, right? Again, nothing wrong with people that have Legends. Shoot, I may have something that's not tuned correctly, and that's why my Legend suspension feels like that. So please let me know in the comments if there's anything I can do. But man, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. So that's it for today's video. Nice, sweet, and short while I was going downtown here in Houston, Texas. A lot of you guys have asked me which suspension I prefer, Legends or Ohlins. And in my opinion, for my riding style and my speed that I like to go to, it's going to be Ohlins all day. Matter of fact, I was trying to get these changed out to Ohlins, but you know, I don't need to, because this bike is my, you know, it's my classy bike. You know, it's the cruising, chilling out. You know, I don't really get in too much trouble with this bike here. I keep it, I maintain it, and it is a nice bike. That does this for today's video. I am gonna head on home to my beautiful family and start getting ready for Thanksgiving. I wish each and every single one of you all a very, very happy Thanksgiving, to all of my soldiers and all of my soldiers' families. You know, thank you for what you're doing currently. I'm thankful that you stepped up. Only 1% of the country or less step up to join and serve this military for whatever reason it may be. And just know that when an infantryman as myself tells you thank you for what you do, and I am here to support each and every single one of you as much as I can when you guys get out the military and come back, along with your families and your children. I am a man of my word, and I will do that. So to all my military people, I love you, and I know what it's like to be away from home during the holidays. You make the best of it. You might hit the gym or whatever, but it's still kind of depressing. But you build character, and everyday problems in the future for you are non-existent. So y'all be good and have a good one. How do I get out of here? I live here. Okay, found it. Oh, so in case if you guys are still watching, I'm right here. I'm gonna try to turn the camera here, but I am in front of where the Houston Nationals play, right over here. It used to be called Minute Maid Park. Now it's called, I don't know, something else. Man, there's nothing like that open road, huh? Nothing like that open road. Love it.